we'll see an introduction to big data. See, there are pervasive technologies now available, including your ICT, integrated sensors, advanced materials, biotechnology, clean power. All these technologies are facilitated by big data or IoTs or robotics or additive manufacturing, like that. Okay, so these technologies, when they are facilitated by some kind of a use, then we should know how to use data. So big data is of prime importance. Every data with individuals or a group of individuals can be made into a useful decision. That is what is big data. Like for example, you have a data in your computer or in your cell phone, be whatever it is. What will you do with the data? Either you will use the data or you will remove the data because it is individual. But that data, if you have not removed, if it is seen by somebody, it can be misused or manipulated. That is what is big data. So a big data can have options like use, misuse, manipulate, or hush. Hush, archive, or remnant. So how to have a logical reasoning behind, how to have a kind of a relationship first with this big data. So this big data first lands in a warehouse, data warehouse. In the data warehouse, the data is being stored. Then it goes to the computing, data computing. In the data computing, they use to classify your data into different spheres. Then this data lands up in data engineering, where they go through each data and find out how to use it, what to use it, and what to be hushed off. Finally, it comes to mining, where it becomes the real hacking part. They really find out how to use this guy, all the data of this person. For example, I'll tell you, you have data in your mobile phone. Where is this data being stored? It is either stored in your SIM1 or SIM2, which is connected to the server of the service provider. So all your contents, your contacts are in their server. If your contacts are being safe, it means it is used by you. If it is sent to somebody else, it means it is misused by somebody from the warehouse, and it lands to some service provider. It can be a competitor to this same mobile service provider, or this data can be identified by somebody else and manipulated for their use. For example, sending it to bank for opening an account, fixed deposits and all the stuff, or loans, or car loans, or house loans, or whatever it is. And service providers like restaurants, spas, gyms, membership, all business development activities, it can land anywhere. So this is manipulated. And then finally, whatever is not used, it is hushed off, it is removed. But the hushed data can also be made into a kind of a useful data. So there is data warehousing, there is data computing, there is data engineering, and there is data mining. Warehousing, you have use and misuse of data. In engineering, computing, you will have misuse and manipulation of data when they compute. Even your mark sheets, sometimes marks those people are handling. And then you have your engineering, where it is manipulation to hushing. And finally, the hush is being used. This is the mining state. Okay. Now coming to a relationship of how to use these data. Whenever there is a data which is transferred from mining to warehouse, there is a logical reasoning of why they send it. They said, I've used it, so I'm sending it to you. This is the data which is used. For example, logical reasoning is you classify certain subscribers in rates. For example, these people pay about 500 rupees per recharge, or 1000 rupees per recharge, 1500 rupees per recharge, and they classify, clustered, and kept. The second part is the patterning. See, when it comes to computing, when it is moved from warehousing to computing, what these people see is how these people are using this data. For example, you're moving at a particular time from one spot to another spot and take so much time. For example, you take about 50 minutes or 45 minutes for traveling from home to work. Every day if you're traveling, then your Google map will keep drawing the line from where to where. And this lands in a computer. And people can see the pattern. So morning this direction and this evening this direction. So in between there is something what this person is doing. So he is active here and he is inactive here. So his marketable time is this time and not this time. And on what dates. Like that you can have a pattern. Then comes the opportunity part. That is when you have a data moved from computing to engineering, they find out, okay, he travels from this time to this time and he crosses this way and he halts some here, he fuels here, he goes to a restaurant here, he buys some food or provisions here. So they identify and see what is your buying capacity, where you buy, what do you buy, everything is being documented. And finally, the hush state. That is when you come to a hush state, they can even hack you because, see, for example, you have your television set, and they send you a scroll saying that your subscription is not is due within another 2 days. You have to kind of quickly pay. So how do they know that we are seeing? It means they are watching us. When we put our TV on, it means they have seen, they have access to what we are seeing. So they can see what we are seeing and then they can prompt. And they also say, you have not subscribed to this channel. So everything is there. So they can hack us through and find it out. So like this, there are a lot of data, not yours and mine, but a group of people, which is called the big data, okay, which comes in the server, okay, which is where the aggregation does. This aggregated data is analyzed, the second part. And then the third part is they enrich this data. The customers, the marketing organizations, what they do is they do enrichment of this data and find out, okay, this guy has car, this guy has a house, and he is having a salary of this much, so you can sell this product to him. Okay, and then finally they hit on with the informed decision. This is how marketing is using our data, and you can take this as an introduction to big data.